What is the story you want to write? In other words, what is it that you're passionate about to write? That's what we're going to figure out in this video. Please hit that subscribe button for more writing content on this channel. When you decide to start writing, you want to write something that you always want to write, something that was in your head that you want to just put on the piece of paper. And you don't care about what anyone else thinks of it because it's between you and the story that you want to tell. The only person who is keeping you from doing so is yourself. You can be your own best friend and your worst enemy. And why I say that is because you get to decide what you want to do, and it's up to you whether you want to sit down and write the story or not write it at all. If you want your story to come out, you gotta sit down and put the work in. And writing that dream story of yours will take time, which will require you to be patient. And without giving yourself the patience and grace to write the story that you want to tell, it'll just feel rushed and very unsatisfying because you didn't allow the story to to flow. And especially if you want it to mean something to you. You have to have the story mean something personally to you. What is it that you personally want to get out from this story? What lessons or morals do you want the story to mirror? And if you want to allow friends and family to read it, what do you want them to get out from your story? So it's very important to put pieces of yourself in there so it can mean something. When you're writing your story, it doesn't matter what it is about because it's your story. And you can put whatever you want in there, even if you're not going to share it with anyone else. At least you're telling the story that you want to tell, and it that will make you happy and satisfied. And there's no one that can tell you otherwise. The story that you want to tell is distinctly unique to you. Keep in mind that I didn't say original because like almost nothing is 100% original. But what makes it unique and stand out is what you put into the story. So you can put all these different tropes in there and have a nice little twist in there to make it yours. And with the story that you want to tell, yeah, you can put all kinds of things in there. It's just like baking a cake or something from the recipe book. You're just putting things together and seeing what to make work. And you're also, as you're writing the story, you are experimenting with those elements and tropes and different types of characters to get results that you want, maybe you weren't expecting, or maybe something that that's completely new and fresh. Maybe you're writing a story you want based on something that you're sick of seeing. So, let's just say for example, um so you keep on reading about these high epic fantasies and you're like, why can't they just like focus on the more narrow things instead of just broadening out and like dispersing into many different categories of its own. Well, you could write a story that is down to something very specific that you want to write about and that you want to focus on, and to create something that you don't see in these other high fantasy type of stories. And while you're writing this story that you always want to tell, there are going to be some obstacles in the way. Sometimes there are going to be some distractions that get you off track, or even writer's block that might get in the way. And whenever those distractions come into play, you gotta find out how to get through it. One thing to keep in mind is to stay away from revising and editing while you're writing your story, because that can serve as a big distraction when you're trying to write the story that you want to tell. And you don't want to like be that editor while you're the writer. And me personally, I tend to do that with my own stories, and that does distract me from getting to the story that I'm trying to tell and what I actually want to tell. And it's as like I come back to regret it later on, because I could have been writing some more of the actual story, but instead I was revising and editing the story to make it better. And writing the story you want to tell, it's meant to be messy. It's not perfect at all. And don't expect it to be perfect the very first time, because it's obviously your first draft, and just put some personality into it, and like and you're gonna make mistakes. Don't just go on Google like, oh, how do I spell this? Because you just don't want to spell it wrong. Just write it down, and then later on, if you want to revise it and edit it, you definitely can. But the ultimate thing that you want to do when you're writing the story you want to tell, you want to finish it. And finishing that story gives that satisfying sensation that I wrote the story that I want to tell. Yes, I have finished it. Yes, I have done it. I have finally put something that was in my head, playing it as a movie or whatever, onto the pages. And now I go back and read it and like just go, wow. And it's really an amazing feeling when you finish that story. And it doesn't matter how long it is. It's as long as you tell the story how you interpret it to be. And there's no one who can tell you otherwise. And the next steps from there, it's all up to you if you want to revise and edit, or even publish it, or just have it shared with family or friends. Comment below what you're currently writing, or the story that you want to write about. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.